Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning into Mom with me. Whispering per usual because no sleeping. I wanted to talk about my experience flying with Noah by myself. It was interesting to say the least. I will never do it again. I would rather take a road trip. Probably not. Probably regret after taking it. Or just wait until he's older and gets out of this like little tantrum phase. But yeah, so if you'd like to see how my trip with him went, then keep on watching. I just did that. Like one of my favorite YouTubers does that, and I just. Anyway, so I'll start off by saying we left on Friday. Our flight left at 5:40 something. Maybe it was like 5:59. I don't freaking know. Whatever. I just know that I did not sleep all night because I waited till the last minute to pack. And then I was changing Noah's diaper and he ended up waking up. That was like around 3:20, and we left to the airport at 3:30. And he was up this entire time. And when we got to the airport, I was trying to see if I can get Fernando to go with us to the gate, but they wouldn't let him. There was no pass for him to take unless like Noah had some type of disability that I needed help, and I needed his help with. So I had to check in the car seat as much as I did not want to do it, but I really like had no choice. Like I really couldn't by myself. I had one carry-on, or not a carry-on, right? Yeah, it was a carry-on that had Noah and I's stuff in it. And I also had his diaper bag and his lunch bag and obviously the stroller. So I checked in the carry-on and I checked in his car seat. So I was just left with a diaper bag, lunch bag, stroller, and Noah. I went through security. I always try to prepare as much as I can. Like I don't, like, okay, so for example, this I won't wear it. Well, this I didn't even have it there, but so I either take it off on the line, my watch, I'll take it off on the line, or I won't even put it on until after I'm out. While I'm on the line, I'll take off my sweater. Like I try to make everything as smooth as possible, so when I get to the checkpoint, I just drop whatever I need to in the bins, close the stroller really quick, and keep it moving. So obviously our bags needed to be checked because I had in his lunchbox I packed, I think it was like 2 bottles of milk, maybe 3, I can't remember, 1 bottle of water, and I packed his snacks. Obviously on the line I took off my sweater, I took off my shoes, and as soon as we got to where I can put the stuff on the bin, thankfully he was awake, so I was able to just stand him on the floor, have him stand up and close the stroller really quick, put everything through, and then the guy was checking the stuff because of his milk. That process, I want to say, went by pretty smoothly, thank God. I think it also helped that he was awake, so I didn't have to be like dealing with a fussy, cranky baby. He was very alert. He was kind of like, Noah's very observant. If you've ever been around him, you know that he'll stare at something and stare at you, do whatever it is that you're doing or whatever. So he was very just interested in the process, I guess. And then when we got there, obviously he was getting a little antsy where he wanted to get out of the stroller and this and that, but thankfully we weren't waiting for very long until we finally started to board the plane. We had seat 5 something, I don't know what it was, but we got on fairly quickly. Like I said, this whole beginning process was okay because I didn't have the car seat with me and I have the carry-on luggage with me, and so it was a little bit easier. I had the Miss Fong diaper backpack that I just put on my back, and his lunch bag, I just put it here. The process to get on the plane was fairly easy. I just folded his shoulder and had it on the other shoulder, and then I had him, obviously, I had him walking. No, I was carrying him. So I was carrying all this stuff and I was carrying him. So we went through, we got on the plane, we were right in the front. We had the extra leg space or whatever, so we were right in the front, which was a blessing for getting off, but a curse like getting on, because that just meant more time on the plane before it finally took off. Noah was getting antsy. I totally forgot that I brought all his activities in the bag because, like I said, he's usually slept all the flights that we've ever taken, and he was tired. So I didn't even think to take any activity books out for him. I should have, in this time where we were like just waiting for everybody to get on the plane. He was getting very antsy. He was tired, so he started like no, or like and whining because he wanted to be on the floor, but I had already taken his shoes off and he wanted to like kind of like get out into the aisle and start walking around. It started getting challenging, and I'm not used to that because I'm not used to him being like that. He's now going through this phase where like if he's really tired, he gets like super duper cranky, but like tantrum cranky, screaming, kicking, crying. And it's only happened a handful of times, but you know, it was just, he was so tired. And by this point it's already like 5:30 or something like that, and actually the plane was about to start moving, so we're getting the final people on. And thank God for this flight attendant. Her name is Linda. She was so amazing. She helped me anytime that he would like get a little loud. She would come in or come to him and talk to him and ask him questions and kind of like distract him from like the little fit he was having, and it really made it so much easier for me. I was trying to be considerate for the passengers around me, but ultimately his comfort is what comes first. But you know, like the fact that she was able to comfort him, or not comfort him, but you know, just distract him a little, was so helpful and was very nice. Because you guys think it's hard to fly at that time in the morning and hear kids screaming and crying. Well, imagine how hard it is for a mom trying to make sure that she's not inconveniencing everybody else, or you know, her kid is freaking out, and it's hard for us to calm them down because we know that they're tired, but there's so much we can do on a freaking plane. You know, we can't get up, walk around, you know, distract them with other things. Like they have to stay in that spot. After the plane was about to start moving, he finally like was asking for his milk, so I gave him his milk. I put on Moana because the TV came on. He fell asleep. He fell asleep all the way until we got into the taxi. And but I'll tell you what happened in that time. But he fell asleep the entire time. So yeah, great, he fell asleep. It was a smooth ride in that sense, but it only made it harder for me to get off the plane. I didn't want to put him down and like sit him in the chair because it was going to be uncomfortable. He was going to get up screaming and crying, and I didn't even want to do that to myself or him. So I was holding him, and then I tried to, I know that I couldn't take the stroller out of the overhead bin with him, like his dead weight, in like one hand. So I like was like, let me just try and see if somebody will help me. Don't mind my home. It just happened. And I tried it, and everybody was looking at me like nobody tried to help me. And I was like, damn, like things are not how they used to be back in the day. Like people will help, people will be so willing to, you know, lend the helping hand, and like everybody was just looking at me. And so finally the lady behind me was an older lady. She was like, oh, you need help, or let me help you, so she said, and she helped me bring it down. I got to like coming right outside of the door, and I was trying to open the stroller. Now this stroller is fairly easy to open, but for some reason it wanted to get stuck, and he was like falling off of my shoulder. I had the bags on me and trying to open the shoulder. Again, everybody walking right by me, nobody asked to help me, whatever. This younger couple passed by me, and the girlfriend was like, oh my god, do you need help? I was like, oh yeah, thank you. So she helped me, and I was able to get him in the stroller. We went to baggage claim. Thankfully my luggage was like the second one that came out, and then I was just sitting there like waiting around. I've never checked in the car seat, so I'm assuming that it's gonna come out right here, right where my luggage came out. And I was waiting for what felt like 10 minutes, but I probably was there for 5. And I finally decided to go to like customer service. They had a little booth, and I was asking, oh, you know, like I checked in a car seat, where would I get it? And she's like, oh, it comes in the oversized some shit. And I had to walk all the way across with the luggage to there to get the luggage out. And then my mom is like, oh, there should be taxis right when you walk out, which I remember seeing, but I was in a different terminal, I guess. I don't freaking know. I was in a different spot the last time I remember seeing. It was like, I'm not about to walk with this car seat, this luggage, this stroller, all this shit by myself, walking all around this floor looking for these taxis. So I asked somebody, I said, is there taxis outside? Like, is there like a line for me to get on? Because I remember seeing that before, you know, whatever. And she's like, no, you would have to go upstairs and I don't know where. And then she was like, but you can catch an Uber or a Lyft out here because they come and pick up here. And I said, oh, okay, well, fine, whatever, like that's what I have to do. So I walked outside. Sure enough, there was no line. I downloaded Lyft app because I don't use Lyft here in Florida. So I downloaded the app, got the Lyft, and that's when Noah woke up. So he stood asleep for pretty much everything. So it was pretty smooth, except for the fact that it's a pain to have to walk through the airport with all that stuff. I would definitely say if you can fit everything in one bag and check it in, do that. Have a diaper backpack, not anything around the shoulder. You know, obviously the lunch bag, if you could pack everything in the diaper bag, even better. Have a lightweight stroller, because I think that's what helped me immensely as well. Flying in the morning is ideal, or even like flying at night when you know it's like bedtime. But I'll tell you what happened with that in a second. And that was Friday. Sunday we're ready to come back home. I did fly back with my mom and my sister, which was like, thank God, because I said I'm never gonna fly alone again with him by myself. It's not gonna happen. It's not that he misbehaved or anything, it's just like it was too much for me. And I needed the car seat. There was no way I could leave that car seat. I think if I didn't have the car seat, it wouldn't have been so bad, but like I needed the car seat. So coming back, of course, our flight left at, or supposed to leave at 8 something. I think it was 8 o'clock at night. And I'm thinking, okay, cool. I just make sure he takes an early nap, so then that way he can be asleep at night on the plane. And my mistake was he fell asleep at 1:50. Now Noah, he's pretty much a creature of habit, so he's up for like 5 hours or 6 hours, and then he needs to sleep again. So whether that be nap time or bedtime, like that's usually the time span he's up. It's between 5 and 7 hours. It's like pushing it, like he's gonna be cranky and throwing fits. So he fell asleep at 1:50. I really should have let him just sleep an hour or 2 max, and he didn't end up getting up until like almost 5 o'clock. So that was like the worst thing that I could have done, was just let him keep sleeping, because he was up the entire flight. Thank God I had things to distract him, and I had my sister there. But you know, it's just like knowing their routine and knowing, like, you know, if you want things to go smoothly, you have to manipulate your day to go a certain way, so that way your trip can go smoothly. Do you know what I mean? Like, I won't book a flight for anything that's outside of like his sleep time. Like, I'd rather him sleep on a plane and be asleep the entire time than have to deal with like having to distract them, because he's still so little that he wants to walk around, he's curious, he wants to, you know, touch the screen and hit the screen and kick the chair, you know, like he doesn't know. And so it's hard to reprimand a baby, you know, when this is like something new to them, something fun. You know, he's a few more months older now, you know, he's almost 2, so it was a different experience. He was awake. So I want to say what really worked for me with all the activities that I brought for him. If you saw my last video, you'll see what I bought. The top 2 things I want to say that works for us, I forgot to buy the doodle board, by the way, but whatever, was the PJ Masks sticker book, which you could essentially buy any sticker book. It was just, he really likes PJ Masks, and it was his first time like pulling out stickers and putting them on a paper. He really liked that. And also what kept him entertained for a really long time was Play-Doh. I do need to buy like the little tools like that he can cut and whatever. I think that would have been more fun for him, but he really was distracted with the Play-Doh for a really long time. Other than that, he was up, he was going between me and my sister. I also, like, I typically fly in the aisle pre-Noah. I'm an aisle seat kind of girl. I get very claustrophobic, and now I have to remember that I have a child and I need to sit in the window. But my thing is, like, I don't want to inconvenience anybody if I have to get up with him, which, I mean, doesn't really happen. But the one day that I do it, I'm pretty sure he's gonna shit on himself and I'm gonna have to do it. Which actually, coming back, our flight crew was like extreme. Like, the seatbelt sign was on when we were up in the air, and you know that it's still on when you're up in the air. So I mean, if you really need to go to the bathroom, you can get up and go to the bathroom. But they were literally like, if anybody would stand up, they were like the police. Like, you have to sit down, you need to put your seatbelt on. And people are like, but I have to like really use the bathroom. No, but you have to sit down, like you have to put your seatbelt on. So of course no one pooped. Like I said, it was gonna happen, and I had to change them right there because I was not trying to get an attitude with nobody. I was not trying to deal with that, because I would have definitely said, you're gonna let me use the bathroom. My son shit on himself. So anyway, I had to change him in the seat. I have to learn that I need to start sitting by the window. The thing with that is like so tricky, because there was 2 windows. There was like one right next to my sister and another one next to that one, which wasn't really on the other lady's seat, but kind of. And it was just like, you know, you don't want to bother anybody, but then like, he's a child, like what do you want me to do, you know? So he kept like opening and closing. My sister had to tell him the other one is broken, so he was like trying to open and close it. So I don't know, it's really hard to say where on a plane you should sit. That's why I would just much rather fly when he's sleeping. It was like smooth sailing. Like, you don't gotta worry about nothing. And I really didn't worry about anything going over there. I think coming back, he was a little bit more active, obviously, you know. I couldn't find like a smaller version of the milk that he drinks, so I had bought him 2 different kinds. He didn't want neither one of them, so then of course he started yelling, "Booby, booby." He wanted to drink like my boob because he wanted milk. And he finally chugged like water, a bunch of water with like a little bit, like a splash of apple juice. But yeah, it was very interesting. That's how it went. What I would do differently, I mean, like I said, I make sure that I have to manipulate my time and manipulate like his naps, and like everything's so methodical with me when it comes to that, because I try to make everything as smooth as possible. So maybe next time I won't let him take a longer nap. You know, I'll cut his nap shorter so that way he can sleep on the plane. I think I did good when it came to packing. Like, I pretty much tried to consolidate everything to just one luggage. And then his diaper bag did have a lot of stuff when I first went over there. So then coming back, I took out a little bit more stuff because, you know, I think I put like 2 outfits. I put much more diapers. Like, but my fear is like, I had the rest of the diapers in his luggage, which was checked in. So my fear was like, we were gonna be delayed for hours, and then I was gonna be stuck with just 2 Pampers. And what if he shit himself 3 times? You know, like, I just started thinking about crazy shit. But that's what I would have done differently. Other than that, it went pretty well. Will I fly alone ever again with him? No, hell no, unless he's bigger, unless I just have a diaper bag with me and that's it. Or like, I don't know, if I don't have to lug around a car seat and like a bunch of other shit, then I wouldn't mind doing it by myself. That was my experience traveling with him by myself for the first time. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Noah, look at mama. Can you say cheese? Say cheese. Come here. Where are you going?